Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Patrice and we're going to be discussing things I've read recently. And now let's get started. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 4 books that I've just gotten through recently. And the first one will be a cozy mystery, and it's called A Nest of Vipers by Nargendra Harini. I hope I'm saying that right. So this book is the 3rd installment of the Bangalore Detectives Club, and the book is set during the time of Prince Edward's visit to Bangalore and Mysore, India in 1922. While exploring another crime scene, Kaveri and Ramu, her husband, become tangled in a plot that could endanger the life of the visiting prince. So like I said before, this is a cozy mystery series, and it focuses on Kaveri and her husband Ramu. And Kaveri is, she's studying to become, well, I don't know if she wants to be like a math teacher, but she's studying mathematics. And during this time, that was kind of unheard for a woman to be pursuing higher education. But she is, and that's because the Maharani of her area feels it's important, or that it's okay for women to further their studies. So this series, I like how we get a history of the time when India is fighting for their independence, and I like learning about Indian culture of the time. And Kaveri and her husband are like very, very cute. I like how they encourage and support one another. And Kavari, she loves to help other people, and she doesn't really follow the rules of the caste system that's there in India. And Ramu, her husband, like I said, is quite supportive. So he has like really progressive like ideas, and he doesn't try to control Kaveri. And it just makes the series nice to see how they work together. I would like to see him be more involved in the series, and maybe we'll see that as it goes on. But in this book, the plot wasn't as enjoyable as the first 2 in the series. And Ramu, he was a little annoying because he kept going back and forth with Kaveri about actually solving this mystery. And it's like, well, dude, like, you've been supporting me like through the first 2, so why wouldn't you help me with this one? Eventually he does get on board, and they solve the crime, and they figure out who did it. But yeah, I don't know, like, it just didn't match his character from like the first 2 novels. So all in all, I would give this book a 3.5 out of 5. So 3.5 stars. I did like this one, but I enjoyed the first 2 better. Let's see. Next, we have a memoir, and the title of this is Legacy, and it was written by Uche Blackstock. And the overview for this: Legacy is a journey through the critical intersection of racism and healthcare. And the book highlights Dr. Blackstock's journey from child to med student to practicing physician. And I like this book because, as a healthcare professional myself, I feel like this topic is important, and I can like kind of identify with how she had like imposter syndrome, a lack of mentorship and diversity in her field of study. I'm also interested in her views and how the model of healthcare in this country, how we really need to reform it and to make like some drastic changes so that everyone that's here in this country gets the healthcare that they deserve. And I also like how she used her journey to highlight the inequities in the healthcare system. And that makes it more personal instead of just giving like a lot of facts and figures. So she talked about how, like, her mom, she had cancer and how she saw the differences and how she was treated. Um, and then, just her journey through higher education, like how students of color and other minorities, like how they were treated, actually advancing through the school system. So I'm very, very interested in these topics, and it was just nice to get someone else's perspective because me, myself, as a Black woman, I felt like I've experienced some of these same things. And the book was very, very well researched. Like, I like that too. So she had a lot of evidence to back up what she was discussing and what she was saying in the book. The only thing I would have liked to have seen was like more recommendations on how she would fix the system, like what she would change. She spent a lot of time, I guess, just getting us to the point of where we could see the inequities that she was talking about. But I think that's been pretty much well researched, and we know that that's kind of a fact here in this country. So I would have liked more of a focus, like maybe the next half of the book, on what she think is the correct prescription for us to change things. But overall, I did really enjoy the book, and I think everyone should read it, whether you're in, like a healthcare profession or not. It is something I think we should all read. And I gave the book a 4.8 out of 5. So I thought, yeah, it was very, very good. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Fellowship of Puzzlemakers, and this is by Samuel Burr. And it was listed as a contemporary mystery thriller, but I don't think that's the correct genre that it should have been in. Like, it's put in as a mystery, but it wasn't really a mystery. So let me give you the overview first. So, abandoned at birth on the steps of the Fellowship of the Puzzlemakers, Clayton Stumper was raised by Pippa Allsbrook. When she passes away, she leaves a final puzzle, a promise to reveal the mystery of Clayton's parentage and prepare him for life beyond the commune. So this book, like I said, it's set up as a contemporary mystery thriller, but it has like a slight hint of romance. And you guys know romance is not my favorite genre, but I did like it in this story. I liked the little bit of romance. If you like puzzles, there are various puzzles to be solved throughout the book, which I found to be enjoyable. Some of them were a little hard, like the crossword, like some of the clues didn't make sense. But like I said, the puzzles were enjoyable to solve throughout the book. The things I didn't like, there was like a little bit of clunky writing. So like the author would start off in like one tense of writing and switch to another. Some of the like transitions didn't make sense because we would be talking with Clayton and it would be like one day, and then in the next paragraph it would be like 2 days later. So I didn't like that. And Clayton as a main character, I didn't really care for him. Like, he was, I don't know, I didn't like him. So I just couldn't get on board with him. Like, I know he's billed as a 25, 26-year-old senior. So, like, he has an old personality. But I don't know. I didn't like him. The ending was very frustrating, and then we had some very unbelievable character decisions throughout the book. And Pippa, I'm not sure if I cared for her either. It just seems like part of the story focuses on how her decisions impact the other people, and I just felt um like they're all supposed to be this group of very smart people, and she just made a very dumb decision. um and the ending was very, very frustrating to me. um so part of the book is that Pippa leaves Clayton like this intricate set of clues, almost like a treasure hunt to find out who his real parents are. And it could have been done in a totally different way. But I guess if we did it a different way, the book would have been over in like a couple of chapters instead of taking us through this whole story. And also, the story was supposed to be about Clayton finding like his footing in the real world, like getting to meet people and having like an adventure of his own. And he did have an adventure, but it was like right in the streets of London. Like, I don't know, like because they build it as this big adventure, like you just would have thought he would have branched out more, but it was more like, oh, I went to London and I went to a museum, or I saw um, I went to someone's house, or I went to the bank there in London. Like I thought he would be going to like Paris or France, or like the clues would have led him somewhere exotic, and it didn't. But overall, the book was good, but it could have been better. But I still gave it 4 stars. And let's see, in the last book we're going to talk about is Sweetness in the Skin by Ishi Robinson. And this is a coming of age story. And we have Akeisha Pumpkin Patterson is a 13-year-old girl living in Jamaica with her grandmother, Aunt Sophie, and mother Paulette. Sophie moves to France and plans to send for Pumpkin the next year, but when Pumpkin's grandmother dies, she's left with her abusive mother. Pumpkin decides to raise money for her move to France by turning her passion for baking into a business. But when her mom and her school find out, she may lose everything she's worked so hard for. Now, this book, I really, really enjoyed this book. I like um, being in Jamaica and like the food that's mentioned, and just like all the Jamaican vibes that's in it. I really did like this book. It was a fun read. I got through it in 2 days. I really like Pumpkin, and I like the secondary characters and how they helped her throughout her journey. I enjoyed the ending. I'm not going to spoil it um, by telling you if she gets to France or not. I just really want you all to read it because it was good. The things I didn't like, so there was really no growth in character for Sophie or Paulette. And in the book, like we can see there's a difference between how Paulette is treated and how Sophie is treated, and it's because of colorism. And then there's also on the island a difference in how you're treated based upon how much money you have. So there's some class issues as well. But we really didn't get to explore like those themes. Like it's mentioned, but it's really not tackled in the story. So I felt like the author could have done more with those themes. It would have been nice, definitely, to see what Paulette and Sophie were thinking, like at the end, and like why they didn't move from their viewpoints, especially after everything that happened with Pumpkin. So it would have been nice to explore like what they were feeling, and more of their thoughts in the story. But I did end up giving this a 4 stars. So that is the end of this video. If you have read any of these stories, please let me know what you thought about them in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you the next time. Bye-bye.